What's going on, guys? This is Hatsmania. I'm coming to you with a brand new deck profile. Today, I played going second Spright at Locals, and I went completely undefeated. I went 2-0 every single match. My opponents were on Horus, Crystal Beast, Tenpai, and Tyr Lightsworn. So, yeah, let's get into it. I'll explain things as I go, and I'm very excited to show this to you guys. This is probably one of my favorite decks, if not my most favorite deck to play, and I'm very happy with how it performed. So 3 blue, 3 jet, 1 red, 1 carrot. And I did play the pixies today, mainly because we were going second, and I just kind of wanted to see how it worked out. It was fine. Like, I mostly used it as an extender than anything else, and to be honest, it was usually just another search I could get when I didn't want anything else, or I had everything else. So it was there. It came up more that it was just the biggest one that you can play than it actually was in terms of doing anything. Yeah, but the regular Spright stuff in terms of jet, blue, red, and carrot, that's standard. That's not changing, other than maybe red, going to 2. For the water package, we are playing 3 beaver, I played 2 angler, and I did play the 1 swap frog. So for swap frog, this is about to become really, really good in this deck because it is going to be a 1-card starter in a couple weeks. However, I hate opening angler in my hand. And if I have the rest of, like, if I have combo outside of the angler, I'll just summon this and go into gigantic early, which means I don't lose to nib very immediately. And then summon this from deck, bounce it back to hand, ditch this, and then still get the bodies anyway that I was going to get off sprint. So if I'm going first, then yeah, that's where it's relevant. Also, because I'm drawing more cards, this is more likely to happen where this does end up in my starting hand. So I really just wanted a way to play through soft bricking, basically. For the last level 2, I played 1 Hyperia. So the reason why I played this is because of a new card that came out on Lead. There's a combo that you can do where you basically get to draw 2 for free, basically. I felt like this was the best consistency piece I could play, other than maybe Prosperity, but because I was going second, I wanted to kill my opponent quickly. And Prosperity does not allow you to do that, so this is the best consistency piece I could possibly play. I really like this. This did come up, so I did draw 2 off of that combo, I think once or twice. It was good. Okay, so other than that, I also played 3 Fenrir. I feel like this is mandatory at the moment for this deck. This might change after the new Ice Barrier cards come out, because that's what makes this deck way better. But Fenrir, very strong today. I was very happy with how this performed. It kept me alive against Crystal Beast because we just had a very simplified game state after he hand trapped the hell out of me. But generally speaking, this was fine. I was very happy with how Fenrir performed, and it was the best extender I think I could have played today. We also played, for the spells, 3 starter and the 1 Gamma Burst. This is your E-Telly. This is your win con. We are not playing the trap because we're trying to go second. Generally very happy with this. Like, Gammaverse is an insane card, so I was very happy with how it performed. I think Gammaverse OTK'd, I think, 3 times, and the other half I was mosquitoing, so yeah. For the last engine piece, we played 1 Foolish Burial. I'm playing Thrust. This is searchable off Thrust. I saw it once, it was fine. Like, this, again, also another card that gets way better after the new support. But generally speaking, very, very strong. It was fine. 3 Thrust. We're going second, so Thrust was very strong today. I think I saw this probably more often than anything else. This was undoubtedly one of the best cards in the deck. Getting people to bait, or in the case of Tenpai, just activating this after getting shifted was incredible. With that specifically, when I get to a card in the extra deck, this was also relevant going first in terms of game 1. I got to activate this going first game 1, which was great. For the targets, other than Foolish, we played 2 Raigeki, 1 Lightning Storm, 1 Harpies. This does have a little bit of theory behind it. Raigeki I thought was just really, really important in this format. Being able to blow up the board and then just kill is really good. So I want to see this as much as possible. So opening this isn't bad. The Lightning Storm was effectively the third copy of Raigeki, as well as the second copy of Harpies. I did not need more of this. I saw this enough. That was fine. Seeing this late game is kind of bad, so I was like, yeah, we're good. We were good on this. I think I saw Harpies once and I didn't need it, so yeah, it's fine. This is all good. For the rest of the targets, we also play 1 Herald, 1 Tactics, 1 Change of Heart, and 1 Mind Control. So there are some really good Pearly players in my area. Spright notoriously is pretty damn terrible going into a Noir. So I felt comfortable maining this. I will probably be siding this going forward. However, it is there. It also helps against the Voiceless matchup, so like that I felt comfortable maining it. As for these, I don't think I activated the effects other than to steal off of this card. Just being able to steal your opponent's monsters is very, very good going second. Again, any level 2 monster plus any other monster is full combo for this deck. So this was good. I think I activate Change of Heart the most. But yeah, really, really good. I was very happy with this. For the rest of the cards in the main deck, I played 3 Droplet, which was crazy today, and 2 Enemy Controller, which very much was not. The only thing that it did for me was just keep me alive for an extra turn against the Horus Crystal Beast player by putting one of their monsters to defense. That was the only use I had for this card. For Droplet, it was good. I got to activate an Angler off of this. Yeah, like, it was good. For the extra deck, I'm going to go over the cards that I used and first, and then quickly go through the ones that I did not. I only played 8 cards out of my extra, so yeah, I was pretty efficient with what I needed. We played 2 Gigantic, 1 Sprint. This was a mistake. I should have been playing 2. The second one did come up today, and generally speaking, it helps you push in very simplified game states when you have the second one. And so I felt like this was like, it just needed to come up. The second one you do need sometimes, so that was the only mistake I played, but I ended up winning that game anyway, so who cares. Gigantic was normal. That's fine. Like, that's all you need, really. Sometimes you want the third, but usually you don't. For the other links, 1 Haggard Lizardos, 1 SP, 1 IP. So I made this the most today out of the non-Spright cards in the extra. This was crazy. I think I made it like twice. The attack effect is very relevant. As for these two, the IP and the SP, like, it's part of your end board for going first. You do need to play these. I did not make them very often. Generally speaking, I either won by turn 3 or I won on turn 2 when I was going second. So yeah, they're there, but you do need to play them because it is Spright. Now, for the best cards in my extra that weren't Gigantics, or, yeah, like, it was these two. These overperformed today. So Mannequin Cat was really funny. I did something really stupid against the Tenpai player. Stupid as in, like, good. They shifted me game 1, in draw step. And I ended up making this because this deck does not have a hard time playing through Shifter. You end on a weaker board, but generally speaking, you're fine. I summon the Shifter back to their side of the field, and then I triggered Thrust because they shifted me, and I can activate Thrust after that point. Grab Change of Heart and stole the Shifter so I could keep extending more. This card was insane. I really liked it. Being able to resolve Thrust on your turn 1 is absolutely cracked. This card was a house against Tenpai. I didn't realize how good this was into Tenpai until I played it. Man, okay, so we'll put this away and then we'll kind of put this front and center. This straight up kind of won me the match against Tenpai, other than maybe the side deck cards I was playing. But this card is an interaction against that deck. So it's really cool. You kind of play chicken with them in terms of the die roll. If they make you go first, you know they're on Tenpai. You make this, and then it becomes very awkward for them because when they declare an attack, that's when this gives them a hallucination counter, and then they can't activate their effects in draw and damage step, because they can't activate due to how the counter works. It also can't be destroyed by battle, and you take no damage from battles involving it, so like they have a very hard time removing this. And game 2 against them, they made me go first, and I just made this with like a couple of other things, and it was very difficult for them. It's so hard for them to play through this in a very simplified game state. I believe also at that time they were on, I think it was like turn 4 or 5. They were on top deck mode, and this immediately won the game after playing those couple turns. Tempai does not want to grind. If you're forcing them to grind, that's not good for them. For the rest of the extra deck, there were 7 cards in the extra deck I did not use, 2 of which I am probably going to cut. One Nightmare Phoenix, this is not getting cut. One Dark, this will be getting cut. Every time I play this, I never use it. I never want to use it. I never need it. It's like, in theory, it's like good because you can crash it and get to engine, but like it just doesn't come up enough. So whatever. Cat Shark. So this is a similar purpose to Mosquito. However, I'm just gonna play a second Mosquito because this deck just eats Tenpai. Not being able to destroy my battle is what sold me on this, but I'm just going to play Mosquito because it also negates the damage. So, yep. The one on Onibamaro, Soul Sweeper. The main reason why I want to play this is because it gets big, not necessarily the removal, but the removal is relevant. But, yeah, it's fine. And then we played Zeus and Downard. It just didn't come up. The games were just not lasting long enough for me to really need this, but I do want to play it because I am going second. There's just some boards this, like, the Spright engine cannot deal with that this does. So, yeah, that's why. And then I played my emotional support Typhon. This is like in every deck list everyone ever plays, and everyone says that they don't make it, but it's there just in case. So he's there for emotional support. But yeah, that was it. Fine. I was very happy with the extra deck other than those 2 cards where I wish I was playing the second Sprint and the second Mosquito, but that was really it. For the side deck, we played 3 Droll. I played it again. I sided this in against Crystal Beast, saw it against Crystal Beast. It immediately won me the game. Like, that's all I saw it for, and that's all I needed it for. The one Ib, I did side this in twice. Once against Tenpai. Unfortunately, they impermed the Gigantic, so I could not get this out in that game. However, this would have just immediately won the game on the spot. And then I did side this in against Tier Lightsworn because I wanted to make things awkward for them in combination with the different Dimension Crown. Yes, the different Dimension Crown does do things, but I really did not want them to go into something that could possibly make things more difficult. So like SP, for example, I just didn't want to deal with that. And in order to kind of skirt around the banish effect on summon, you have to give them this, and then they can't really do that. So it was fine. Like I like a lot of people just aren't playing around it at the moment with their extra deck, so I felt like it was good. For the best cards in my extra deck, thank you to Thomas, who has introduced me to this engine. He's maining it, I'm siding it, as well as giving me the 4th card in the engine, 3 Unicorn and 1 Birth. Okay, so this deck, well, not this deck, this engine is very, very strong and helps me with specific matchups that this deck cannot deal with. Those matchups being specifically branded, as well as Tenpai in very specific scenarios. Tenpai being when I get hand trapped to death. However, this makes it very difficult for them to actually have to interact with me, because they either have to let this happen and I keep ripping the level 7s out of their extra deck, or I get to just go combo. So basically against Tenpai, you get to special summon this, you search Birth. If you need to use this for combo, you can bring it back later with Birth. But generally speaking, you want to keep this on the board if you can manage it. And if they interact with you with like Ash, with Valor, anything that's not in perm basically, look at their extra deck, you get Knowledge, rip a card out of it, and then you keep going until you end your turn. On their turn, you try to they do some stuff and you rip another card. So you get to rip 2 extra deck monsters. Against Tenpai, that is very devastating because you get to rip out both of their level 7s for the Sangan level 7 synchros. So they're forced to go into the Zeal OTK, which is not ideal because like you can force them into playing into Birth sometimes. So yeah, that's pretty good. On top of that, like he does very easy to stop. So, like this was insane. Against Branded, generally speaking, you can rip the Mirror Jades because this deck just cannot deal with Mirror Jade at any capacity. So this does help with that, and I would side this in against Branded if I had been playing against it. But yeah, this engine was insane. I was very happy with how it performed. Yeah, it straight up just closed out the game and made it very manageable. 3 Cosmics, didn't side these in. Call by, probably going to cut it. It was for going first, but I never saw it even when I set it in. Hell, half the time I didn't even set it in to begin with. Because I just didn't need it. And I want to go second. So, unless I knew I was going first, which sometimes I didn't know, it just didn't come up. I just didn't need it, so I'll probably cut it. I played the 1 Simul Archfiends. This is technically very good. It's good against Branded. It's good against Tempai. Did not set it in at all. So it was there if I needed it, but it's whatever. For the other 2 really good cards on my side, this straight up just won me the game outside of the Ibly getting summoned to the tier Lightsworn field, but like this immediately won the game because they couldn't activate charge, they couldn't keep dumping, or when they did, it was going to get banished. They ended up just ending on a Minerva, and that was really it. D-Barrier just simplified the game against Tempai, so this plus the Unicorn Rips gave me time to deal with them, and that's not good when you're a Tempai player. So I was very happy with these 2 cards in particular. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like and comment, and have a great rest of your day.